Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you, and as usual now, good to see everybody wearing your masks. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for helping to spread the word. And as everybody knows, that is now not just a recommendation, but a requirement statewide. Anytime you are in a public setting where you can't control the amount of distance between you and somebody else, when you're going to the grocery store, when you're out shopping, when you're on a bus, when you're in a taxi cab. In this situation, we're pretty well spread out, so I'm going to take my mask off for the remainder of this press conference and then to put it back on. But thanks again for being here. I have a few updates to provide today. First of all, I want to just give an update. We have now seen the number of reported cases has grown to 648. That's, as of today, 648 confirmed positive coronavirus cases in the city of Hartford. And we have also had 55 fatalities linked to the coronavirus reported to us. I want to pause on that for a second because you might remember we spoke about 36 fatalities at the end of last week. Now, it's important to say that, to the best of our knowledge, that does not mean that 19 people have lost their life from the coronavirus between Friday and today. I believe that there were a number of changes in the data and updates that identified fatalities that had occurred previously and were classified subsequently as being linked to the coronavirus. And so that's why we have seen that significant jump between Friday and today. But maybe the more important thing to say and the more important way to talk about this is we have seen 55 people lose their life just in this city of Hartford associated with the coronavirus. This is a deadly virus. It's still here, it's still spreading, and we need to continue to take it seriously. And as always, our prayers are with all of the loved ones who have lost somebody to this terrible virus, and our thoughts and hearts are with all the families affected by this. Despite the fact that we have continued to see the numbers rise, we saw this past weekend a significant number of people starting to act as if we were back to life as normal, in particular at our parks and in particular at our parking lots. And so I just wanted to say that going forward, we are going to be closing down the parking lots at our parks. And on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to prohibit any food trucks from operating near city parks. We have kept our parks open because we think it's an important place for folks all over our community to get some fresh air, to stay healthy, to go out for a walk, go for a run, while observing social distancing requirements. But what we saw this past weekend, particularly Sunday on a beautiful afternoon, was a lot of people using those parking lots as a place to create a gathering space and be out in large numbers and get friends together. And we just cannot allow that to happen. And so again, going forward, parking lots will be closed. You can still park a few blocks away from the park and go in and walk or take a run. You can walk or run to the park, but the parking lots will be closed, and food trucks on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will not be allowed near the parks. We have been in touch with our building owners, and we have another letter that will soon be going out to all of our large building owners, but we've tried to stay in touch with our property management companies and building owners, not just for nursing homes and senior living facilities, but large buildings in general. You know, it's really important to say that when you are living in a large building, you got to be extra careful, whether it's riding the elevator or walking in the hallway or using the stairs or using shared spaces like a laundry facility. We have a number of buildings where there are multiple cases of the coronavirus, and just as we're concerned about the spread in facilities like nursing homes, we've got to be concerned about the spread in any place where there are a lot of folks living together. So please, make sure you're practicing social distancing, not just when you're out of your house, but when you're in your building as well, as best you can. And I know how difficult that is, but it's really important, and we're going to continue to stay in close touch with our building owners. I I'll talk about another issue that we've talked about a couple of times over the last few weeks, and when this first came up, I described it as not being linked to the coronavirus. I'm going to amend that a little bit. And this is the issue of ATVs and dirt bikes. We have had a whole bunch of ATVs and dirt bikes out there driving around, and we often see that as the weather gets good. We might be seeing it even more right now because there's not a lot of other ways to recreate, but when you ride an ATV or dirt bike or four-wheeler on city roads in a reckless way or through city parks, you're putting other people's lives at risk. And that risk is even higher right now because in our parks, we have a lot of people who are using the way that they're supposed to be used. We have folks who are going out and taking a walk while observing social distancing, so they're spread out through the park. They're walking or running. You've got kids and families again, doing it the right way, just close family out there enjoying some fresh air together. But ATVs and dirt bikes put those residents' lives at risk. And we are going to continue to be really serious about enforcing the law against ATVs and dirt bikes. Over the last couple of weeks, we have seized 30 ATVs or dirt bikes. We do not intend for the owners to get those back. We've also made a number of arrests. Our police officers are going to continue to do that. I'm grateful for their work in doing that. It's about keeping our community safe, just as we work to keep our community healthy. I will continue to stay in close touch with our PD, with our health inspectors, with everybody else on the city team to identify where we may be seeing challenges arise that we need to address in new ways or with new restrictions. But I hope that we can count on the community spirit and the sense of responsibility of everybody out there to continue to take this seriously, to socially distance, to wear your masks, to wash your hands, and to recognize that when you do those things, it's not just for you, it's for those you love and for the community as a whole. Now, I want to transition to an entirely different issue, although there also are some links here, and that is the announcement that this week, on Wednesday, is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And to celebrate Earth Day, our city's sustainability office, which is in its third year of existence, has put together an incredible program of webinars and symposia, bringing together individuals and organizations with an incredible range of expertise and interest to talk about what we're doing and what we can do here in Hartford as we work to make Hartford a leader in climate stewardship and sustainability, in building a cleaner, greener city. The sustainability team has been doing unbelievable work in partnership with many in our community for the last few years, and their work has been recognized both statewide and nationally, and we're going to continue that work. But I hope that everybody takes a minute or more than a few minutes to experience any one or all of the more than 20 programs that our sustainability office has put together this week for Earth Week, again starting Wednesday and going for a week. It's a chance to celebrate what we've done. It's also a chance to educate and inspire one another. And hopefully folks will engage and participate in this, both because it's a vitally important issue and because it'll be nice to think and talk about an issue other than coronavirus. But when you're doing it, when you're participating in Earth Week and thinking about our climate, thinking about climate change, I hope that folks will now be thinking of that issue through a new lens. If this coronavirus crisis has taught us anything, it's got to be that we need to listen to scientists more, we need to respect the data more, and we need to make investments in advance in solutions and in resiliency, because it's a lot better to plan ahead than it is to play catch-up. And we're already playing catch-up in a terrible way when it comes to climate change. So I hope on this 50th anniversary of Earth Day, we as a community will all come together, again, through this virtual forum that our sustainability office has set up, and think about ways that we as a city can continue to make our community greener, cleaner, and contribute to the global effort to fight climate change and build a healthier world. And with that, I'm happy to take a few questions. Yeah. So the question is about the rally that's planned for today and the fact that there will be folks rallying here in Hartford in just a couple of hours. First of all, it's my understanding that unlike some of the protests around the country, these folks plan to stay in their cars. I appreciate that. It's a smarter way to do it. They have the right to express their views, but I'm glad that, at least I hope, that they'll be observing social distancing as they do that and staying in their cars. My general comment on that rally is this. Look, we all wish that life could return to normal. I'm sure all of us are sick of staying at home or living with this disruption or wearing masks as we go around. But you can't just deny reality. You can't deny the facts. This is a region, the greater Hartford region, that last week saw a doubling of the number of confirmed cases of the coronavirus. And this is a city, a small city, where as of today, we've had 55 lives lost associated with the coronavirus. We cannot deny that reality. And we don't speed up the return to normalcy by pretending that we're there prematurely. So I would urge all of those who are anxious to get back to normal to help us get back to normal by doing what needs to be done to keep the community healthy and to slow the spread of the coronavirus. That's going to be a lot more productive than bringing hundreds of people together in one place, whether it's out of their cars or in their cars. The question was whether there's an update on the rapid testing in the city. As you know, we've got 2 testing sites in the city of Hartford, one at Hartford Hospital, one at St. Francis. There is one rapid testing facility in the state of Connecticut, and I applaud and appreciate the work that Governor Lamont and the state team did to get that rapid testing capability. And the federal government, I think, made one site available, and the state made the choice, which is a very legitimate and understandable choice, to place that facility in New Haven. But I think all of us are eager and anxious to see that rapid testing capability expand. I spoke to the governor this weekend about it. I spoke to Congressman Larson in coordinating with our legislative delegation. I think it is critically important that we establish additional rapid testing sites because number one, we know that we're not testing anywhere near as many people as we should be testing. And number two, we know that widespread rapid testing is going to be a critical component of the return to normality, to the what will be a slow reopening. Without that testing capability in place, it's hard to see how we're anywhere near crossing that peak and being able to start opening things up. So we are very, very eager and anxious to get that set up, and we're going to do everything we can to get one of those sites located here in the city of Hartford. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. As always, I'm going to turn it over to Liani to say a few words and hit some of the highlights in Spanish. But I appreciate everybody being here. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks.
Buenas tardes todos. Soy Liani Arroyo, la directora del Departamento de Salud y Servicios Humanos de la ciudad de Hartford, a darle unos breves datos acerca de lo que ha dicho nuestro alcalde Luke Bronin. Hoy día hemos tenido 1,539 personas en la ciudad de Hartford que se han hecho la prueba del coronavirus. De esos, 648 han sido confirmados con el coronavirus y hemos tenido 55 muertes. Es importante dar una nota acerca de las muertes. Durante estos últimos días el Estado está trabajando y está arreglando los datos y quizás no es decir que han sido 20 personas que han muerto en estos últimos días, pero si no ha podido ser que los datos se han arreglado y estamos teniendo datos que son mejores en este momento. También le queremos dar otra información acerca de lo que está pasando en la ciudad. A partir de hoy, los parqueos, los estacionamientos de nuestros parques aquí en la ciudad se van a mantener cerrados. Hemos visto este fin de semana, porque el tiempo estaba lindo, que muchas personas estaban usando los estacionamientos para estar como de recreo, y entonces había muchos grupos grandes ahí que no estaban practicando la distancia social. Así que a partir de hoy esos estacionamientos van a estar cerrados. Hemos dejado los parques abiertos porque queremos que nuestra comunidad tenga acceso, pero es importante que no estemos haciendo como fiestas o recreando grupos grandes en los parqueos o estacionamientos de nuestros parques. También queremos darle información acerca que los camiones de comida no van a poder tampoco estacionarse en nuestros parques. Tienen que estar al menos 2 bloques o más del parque, porque lo que hemos visto otra vez es que las personas no están practicando la distancia social y se están congregando haciendo grupos grandes que puede ayudar a la propagación del coronavirus. Así que eso es importante saber, que los camiones de comida van a estar al menos 2 bloques de los parques, no pueden estar en los parques o al lado de los parques. También es importante hablar de lo que se está viendo hoy día en nuestra ciudad. Sabemos que cada verano, cuando el tiempo se pone lindo y está lindo afuera, salen los motocicletas de tierra, los motocicletas de motocross, como le dicen, de todo terreno. Entonces, este fin de semana nuestra policía han estado haciendo trabajo acerca de eso. Es un peligro para la comunidad que está tratando de usar nuestros parques, que están caminando a hacer recreo y lo están haciendo responsablemente. La policía han cogido 30 de esos motos y el intento es de no regresarlos. Así que vamos a seguir haciendo ese esfuerzo. Y por fin es importante reconocer que esta semana, a partir del miércoles, es el 50 aniversario de la Semana de la Tierra. Y nuestra oficina aquí de la ciudad, que tiene que ver con el clima, está haciendo un esfuerzo muy grande para celebrar ese aniversario. Entonces, esta semana, a partir del miércoles, van a haber 20 actividades por el Internet que puede participar nuestra comunidad, aprender más acerca de este tema. Gracias.